Hey, what's going on, fellow trade geniuses? This is Philip, and I wanted to recap our binary trade from today, January 31st. So today marked the kind of the return of the ES binary signal. A little different than what we've done in the past. So what the entry was waiting for the market to reopen at 6 p.m. Eastern for the futures to open, and then we were looking to buy on a dip. I think this pullback here was probably wouldn't have been as much as if this had not run up yesterday. If we had kind of closed on the lows, I don't think we would have had to endure this. But as it was, we came back. These are standard deviation levels. These are based on relative moves to the instrument. So we had a half deviation move. Price will bounce around that, and then we dipped down to zero point 0.7, and that's at this point in the day. And I was getting some questions about what should we do with the position, but what's been happening, and it's kind of from the election standpoint. We've been seeing late moves in the day, and that's called the end of day ramp. You veteran guys are going to be familiar with that. But so I saw us at S1. If this had broken down, then the trade was probably toast. But we have some statistics that we run for this particular setup that we saw, and so statistically, this had a probability of ending either a green day or close to it. So our strike was 2273. Let me get you the right thing here. 2273, which by the way was also the prior week high. Okay, so kind of this bounced off of this. Actually, S12 is down here, so it kind of rested on that and it came back up. Um, Paused a little bit at this resistance level, but broke through that and then just started marching. And when I see this at this time of day, it's a lot of times what's going to happen is that's going to continue. And there may be time, but what I look for is when we reach these points of resistance, that I like to see how the walk up reacts. So you see, like here, we have some prior resistance, and you could see the tails here kind of bouncing off that. Also, that was the daily VWAP, so that's based off of yesterday's price action. Okay, so that's where VWAP ended. As you can see, that's based on that here. So that's a level I like to look at. And then it came up and kind of did what I was at this point looking for it to do. Once it started breaking through that, then I thought, we're probably going to go back to settlement, which is the future settlement. Sometimes that jives with the exact close, sometimes not. But I kind of like that level more so than I do the close, the actual close of the session. So anyway, that's just me. But and then really rambunctious would have been the weekly pivot. But anyway, that was a good trade. You just had to hold through it. But I thought the end of day ramp would save us, and it did on that trade. So like I said, I think if this hadn't happened yesterday and we kind of ended down here, I don't think we would have had to endure a whole lot of underwater action that we did. These levels, that's what I was kind of keen on. When I saw this bounce up, that's when I kind of was telling everybody, let's just see what happens in the final hour. Okay, so that was the trade. Again, that setup was something that actually Bob and I have looked at, and I run statistics on it, and it has positive expectancy, which is why we tweet them out. So that was on the ES. So now let's go take a look at the FX side of things in the world of binaries, and I'm going to show you kind of what I was looking at today, and a reason why I did not tweet anything out on that. Okay, so this is Aussie yen, and as you can see, there was a lot of talking today from Trump, and it was dollar related. And that's my concern intraday now, is because we're seeing these thrusts, and the dollar talk seems to be just a pretty volatile thing. So and we didn't really have the premiums today. I was hoping would be better, and they just weren't. And so when he spoke about the dollar, I kind of just want to just stand off or stand by, kind of be on the sidelines, because it's just, who knows, the algos go crazy. And anyway, so we saw a move down here. It affected the Aussie yen. If we look at the pound dollar, again, pretty violent moves. This was 5 a.m. We had a big move down. I couldn't really tell you what exasperated this move, other than there was some data, economic data that came out, but it was pretty violent. And there wasn't really a whole lot of reasoning on that I could see. Then we had a big bounce up, and again, because of the dollar weakness thing that was talked about today, you know, pound's going to rise against the dollar. So these are, for going from almost a one deviation move back to another deviation move, in reality that's a two deviation move. It's a highly volatile environment, and as you'll see when we go back and look at where we stand with the VIX, it's not an environment that we're going to want to play with binary options, at least for this week. Okay, and we'll see similar things with any of the dollar stuff. Dollar yen 1.5 move down. So saw some extremes all over the board with currency. So what I'm doing is I'm showing you the volatility that we're experiencing. Okay, and now let's go and head over to see the VIX. Okay, so here's our VIX overlay with our other currency volatility indices, and we're butting our head on that 13, can't quite push through. And tomorrow we'll see what the announcement brings us, but I have a suspicion that Yellen is not going to say anything to rile up the markets. Who knows? If there's a half point increase, I would suspect some down pressure. I think there's some thought that they're going to hold this time around. Or, the other flip side of that is we've had, a decent run up, so it can withstand another half point increase. So we'll see what happens. But we're not going to see, until this gets above, like I keep telling you guys, we're just not going to be really hawking the intraday binary setups. So it'll be at the money kind of only. As far as the other pairs, they seem to be kind of holding. We've got a general up direction. As you can see, there, volatility is there intraday. So until this kind of comes back together, like in this area here, we'll just stand pat. No sense getting ourselves into any risky positions. So that's about it for this recap. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know how you like the videos. Give me some likes or comments below. We're in the trade room every day. You can go to tradegenius.co and sign up. Bob's been doing really well with the XIV day trades and his stock calls too, so we have that in addition to our binary options, so I'd encourage you guys to check it out. Alright guys, until next time, take care. Happy trading.